What are some of the most common challenges leaders face when trying to inspire change, and how can they overcome them? Fazin, would you like to lead us off on this one?
Sure. So I believe one of the main ones is resistance. When we try to just lead in an environment, people can resist. Why is that? Because they might not have the same vision that we have. So if we be able to just clear the vision for them, it might create a lot of change. I give you an example. Let's say I'm in a hospital and I'm working there as a cleaner, a janitor or something. And I'm in a hospital, I'm not motivated. I go to work every day and it's a hard work and I don't like dealing with whatever I'm dealing with during the day, and I'm not in the mood to progress. And somebody from the leadership comes and we have a friendly conversation, and she's telling me that I know your value because I know that you are here for the daily task that you're doing, but whatever that you don't know is that you are contributing to people to get better. Why? Because if you don't work in here, what happens is that all the germs that are distributing in here in the hospital environment, that's gonna make people sick. So you are helping to just be part of the process, the whole agenda that we have in here to make people to improve their health. And we have that conversation and I go home and think about it, and it's a new vision that I didn't have. And so before that, I was resisting because I didn't have that kind of perspective. But that new vision is changing my resistance. And sometimes it is not that easy to change the resistance. I give you another example. I was hearing a story. It was very interesting. Somebody was telling that story that it was an old lady, and she said that I was part of the groups that we were releasing those people who the black people who were in the West, in the South, in the US, and those they were captive and people are just treating them badly and stuff like that. So she said that I was part of the group to help them to move north and be free instead of slaves. They were at the slavery time. So, and somebody asked her, what was the hardest part for the process? Because she had to arrange for them to go escape from the house that they were in. They have to go and to a train and travel far to the north, and in the middle of the way there were a lot of dangers and stuff like that. So he asked her, what was the hardest thing in that process? And she said the hardest thing was convincing those slaves that they can be free. It was not the physical, it was on the belief system, and that was the hardest part for that person. So if we be able to facilitate that to people, we drop those resistance. And that is one of the most common challenges that the leaders face, because they say a lot of things, nobody can understand them, nobody come along. But if we be able to just expand their vision, then we can facilitate that change. And then it starts from us as well. We have to extend our vision first, and then we see something that they cannot see, and then we can help them out.
Thank you, Fazin. Paul McCown, what's your opinion on this?
Right then. So you see, what I always hear from a marketing perspective are always the same things: resource constraints, time constraints, resistance to change. How am I always going to find the time? But you see, for me, inspiring change is less about authority, and it's more about influence and patience. And you see, what I always do is I always show them this 3-step framework. And this is basically documented. Number 1, demonstrate it. Number 2, duplicate it. Number 3. So to explain, like documenting, as Mary Ann said, people function better with clarity. I love that expression that you made, by the way, Marianne. Unclear is unkind. I have to remember that one. But there, it's also like, for example, whenever we're demonstrating it, there we can see, for example, if there are any holes in our systemized checklist that we're trying to give to these people that are resistance to change, that are saying we don't have the time or something. And then, as John Antonucci said, it's all about listening to learn. So then, for example, what they have to do is they have to sit there, they have to watch us demonstrating it, and then they have to be able to duplicate it. And then, for example, this can lead to other things. But it's all about, you see, like this communication is king. Because you see, transformational leaders, in my opinion, how they succeed is they succeed by turning these obstacles into opportunities for collective growth. And that's my opinion.
Thank you, Paul.